Cause is just.
Conquer we must.
When our cause is just.
Conquer we must.
My name is Keno Manwar. I am a thought leader at the Viable Alternative Republic 3738. This morning we are gathered here as the young people of Kenya who have a cause to believe in. We are here to reimagine the future of this great republic called Kenya. Fellow countrymen, fellow young people, our country has existed for 62 years of self-rule today, and we find ourselves in a hole. And they say when you find yourself in a hole, you stop digging and find a way out. And that is why we are gathered here today. When our cause is just,
conquer we must.
when our cause is just,
conquer we must.
So today we are here inspired by a line in our national anthem that says, justice be our shield and defender. And as young people, we believe in the two principles of natural justice. One says, audi alterem patem, listen to the other party. And the other says, nimo iudex in causa jua, you cannot be a judge in your own case. When our cause is just,
conquer we must.
when our cause is just,
conquer we must.
So we are gathered here because we want to ask all the generations to listen to us as we listen to the other generations according to the principles of natural justice. And we are gathered here because we refuse to be judges in our own case, but we want a fair judgment nonetheless. When our cause is just,
conquer we must.
So as we are gathered here today, we believe that this country shall not go down the trenches, but neither shall this country continue the way things are. When our cause is just,
conquer we must.
So as we are gathered here, we are saying we want to embrace the spirit of dialogue, but not dialogue as an end. Dialogue as a means to an end. Because in our country, we have noticed that there are times when dialogues come, a dialogue happens, politicians hijack it, and then nothing happens. So as we are embracing dialogue and entering a period of dialogue, we are saying we want the politicians to stay out of our dialogue, out of our conversation. When our cause is just,
conquer we must.
So I'll be introducing my fellow thought leaders from the Viable Alternative Republic to share our plan with the country, to share our task as a generation to our fellow young people, and to ask for a call to action in this Viable Alternative Republic 3738. When our cause is just,
conquer we must.
Allow me to introduce the second panelist to say something as we move forward. Thank you.
I'll be reading the press statement. My name is Ivy Wamboy Mushoki, and I am the National Coordinator for VAR 3738. Kenya is hurting. The pain is raw. The wounds still fresh. The 2024 Finance Bill protest shook this country, not just because of the policy. It was a final straw in a long story, in a long history of betrayal. The brutal killing of our brother Ojwang was not just another death. It was a symbol of how expandable young people or the young lives have become. The Saba Saba commemorations reminded us that the struggle for dignity and inclusion is far from over. We, the youth of Kenya, are tired. Tired of being told to wait our turn. Tired of watching our peers disappear under the weight of joblessness, under the gun of police brutality, or in the shadow of despair. We are the children of independence. Yet, we have inherited a system that excludes us, exploits us, silences us. But we refuse to stay silent. We refuse to inherit dysfunction. We refuse to be forgotten. We are not asking for permission. We are rising because we must. The Viable Alternative Republic is a platform born out of pain, but driven with purpose. We do not want to be invited to conversations where our presence is ornamental. We want to create the conversation. This is no longer about dialogue. It is about a generational reckoning, a moment where the young take their rightful place, not as bystanders, but as the leaders. We are the majority in the country. We are the ones pushing boundaries, building small businesses from scratch, running digital economies from our phones, educating ourselves through hardship and holding communities together. We are the reason this country moves, but we are never at the table when decisions are made. That ends now. Our demands are clear, and they are two faces picked by the powerful. We demand 50% youth representation because we are the 70% of the population, and we carry 100% of the consequences of failed leadership. We demand economic justice. We cannot continue to be a nation where young people graduate into poverty. We want jobs, yes, but we also want ownership. We want capital for our businesses. We want contracts, training, access. We want a system that sees us, believes in us, and invests in us. We demand an end to police brutality. That blood of our brothers and sisters will not be shed in vain. We want a civilian-led, independent oversight authority that will investigate and hold accountable all those who have turned against the very people that swore to protect. Never again should a young protester go missing. Never again should a mother bury her son because he dared to speak. We demand free university education, vocational training that prepares us for real opportunities, not just certificates to hang on the wall. Education must be a bridge to dignity, not a trap of debt or disillusionment. VRR also affirms its strong support for the intergenerational national conversation. We believe Kenya needs to talk honestly. We'll show up not as guests, but as architects of a new nation, of a new nationhood. To the government, to the political elite, to every stakeholder, we are declaring that this is our moment to engage. We are not the future. We are the present. We are here to lead because this is our home, because this is our future, and because we will not be silenced. Thank you. And now we'll invite the next delegate to be able to access and to tell us about the covenant we have with Kenya.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to be before you all today. My name is Cynthia Shem, and I'm here as the youth thought leader for the Viable Alternative Republic. Over the last year, we not only went to the streets to participate in our Article 37 rights, we've also found a way to be able to be welcomed to the table to have this conversation. Many a times, our rights seem to end at just protest, and this is why the Viable Alternative Republic has been created, to be able to initiate our Article 38 rights. Having gone to the streets, we have now formed a forum, being the Viable Alternative Republic, to come together to be the official voice for the youth as we voice our concerns and as we start participating in the political discourse of this country. So going forward, we have 10 commandments, which we'd like to call our covenant with Kenya. As the youth participate with the political class, as we integrate with the other generations, we have 10 main covenants that we have with the country. The first is one nation under God. This basically means everybody, despite religious background or despite their affinity to any spiritual or higher being, we all believe that we are under the same authority, and this authority guides us to be kind to one another and to love one another. And it is because of that, it is because we are one nation under God, that we come as a collective of the youth without being divided by religion or any political class or any ethnic background. One nation under God is our first commandment. The second is people are always sovereign. This goes in line with our constitution. The Constitution of Kenya currently declares that all sovereignty belongs to the people. And we also continue with this mantle. We aim to ensure that every discussion that is conducted by VAR on behalf of the youth always puts the people as sovereign, leading us to the third commandment, which is without vision, people perish. Our vision as VAR is that when our cause is just, conquer we must. And this being our vision, we have not only come up with the ideologies to guide us, but we've also gathered a group of like-minded young people to be here today to deliver this message with you. And we hope that Kenya as a republic may learn to embrace this vision, that when our cause is just, conquer we must. The fourth commandment is a government of laws and not of men. This commandment basically puts back the position of the rule of law. No one is above the law, and the law as a system is used to be able to ensure justice through everyone, from the lowest in the food chain, as you may like to say, especially in terms of poverty, to the highest, who is the most powerful person in the country, being the president. No one is above the rule of law, and we intend to have a government of laws and not of men. Our fifth commandment is living for each other is the way of nature. We believe that when each one of us puts their neighbor above themselves, when we each remember that when we're going to conduct our businesses, when we're going to schools, when we're forming partnerships, when we're forming business deals, we are all doing it for the advancement of each other and for the advancement of society as a whole. So living for each other is the way of nature. When the political class lives for us, the citizens that they represent, and we in turn live for them by ensuring that we are able to speak up for our needs and for ourselves, then we ensure that we are living for each other. The sixth commandment is bread is sacred and untaxed. Most revolutions in the world, starting from the French Revolution, started because of hunger. When people do not have food, they resort to extreme measures. Even when we hit the streets, one of the key motivators was that the finance bill sought to tax basic food items like bread or even milk, pushing their prices higher and making living harder. So even as we interact with the Republic as the youth, we would like to ensure that bread is always sacred and untaxed, so that no one in the Republic of Kenya goes hungry. The seventh commandment is no taxation without meaningful public participation. From the statement read by Ms. Ivy Muchoki, we've said that we need meaningful public participation for us to have any progression. We want to advocate for an independent civic body that will be used as an accountability mechanism for the political class to make sure that everything that was promised in a manifesto during election time is actually fulfilled, at least within 2 to 3 years of being in office. So whenever any decisions have to be made, including taxation, which is used to generate revenue for the Republic, then there needs to be public and meaningful public participation at that. The eighth commandment is political liberation is the basis for economic liberation. This basically means whenever we have political stability, the economy thrives. In this state, our economy is dying because we have political instability. We go to the streets to strike, businesses do not run, foreign investors are worried about the current political climate in Kenya, which is it's moving them further from bringing forth investment opportunities. So because we are seeking political liberation, we believe that this will lead to the advancement of Kenya's economy. Therefore, this leads us to our ninth commandment, which is zero tolerance to corruption. Corruption has ailed us and killed us for centuries and even years since independence. And we, as the youth of the viable alternative republic, we have zero tolerance to corruption. And this is actually a conversation we intend on having with the nation to discuss the best way forward in combating this big disease, which is corruption. And lastly, our final commandment, which is commandment number 10, is the same as our mantra. When our cause is just, conquer we must. When our cause is just,
Conquer we must.
we invite you to digest these 10 commandments that we covenant with you, the Republic and the nation as a whole, so that you may entrust us, the youth, or the viable alternative republic representing the youth, to be able to voice not only our concerns but also intergenerational concerns. Thank you.
Hamjambo. Hamjambo tena.
Hatujambo.
When the cause is just,
Conquer we must.
when the cause is just,
Conquer we must.
Thank you very much. My name is Njapit Joseph, and today we are here for the birth of a child of one of the greatest generation that this republic will ever see. And just to begin with, I wanted to remind us of the words of the greatest civil rights leader of the world ever. Martin Luther King Jr. once said that the moral arc of the universe does incline toward justice. And because the cause of VAR
is one of justice, then the moral arc of VAR is to the greatness of our beloved Republic, Kenya. We are saying that beyond Article 37, the right to expression and demonstration, we are saying that there is a union to that and Article 38 of the Constitution on exercise of our political rights as the youth of this republic. We are saying that we are not the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of today. Indeed, we enjoy the benefit of energy, the benefit of youth, and the benefit of education. We are calling this republic to recognize the benefit of energy that is enjoyed by its promising youth. We are saying that VAR is giving an opportunity to the youth not to be the leaders of tomorrow, but to be the leaders of today. And also to remind us of the promise that this republic got into with its citizens in 2010 in the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution. That Constitution does guarantee all the rights from economic rights, social political rights, to all other human rights in the Bill of Rights. These are the rights that the youths are calling for. This is the dialogue that the youths are calling for. The dialogue of fortifying, the dialogue of reinforcing the Constitution of Kenya 2010. That Constitution provides for the rule of law. That Constitution provides for the right of the youths. It is in that Constitution that VAR is saying we are the leaders of today. And indeed, when the cause is just,
conquer we must.
when the cause is just,
Conquer we must.
our cause is just. It is for the love of this republic. It is in recognition of the energy that we enjoy as the youth. It is in recognition of the need for change. And indeed, change and the cloud of change is over this republic. And we are calling for all generations to come together and recognize that change and recognize that indeed our republic needs to remain true to its promise in 2010, the promise of a better Kenya, the promise of a strong youth, the promise of a better leadership in Article 10 of the Constitution. Indeed, because the cause is just,
Conquer we must.
because the cause is just,
Conquer we must.
for the love of God and country.
Thank you. Okay. All right. First of all, I am Mr. Kevin Oyuko, bunge la mwananchi. Kitu ya kwanza kizungu inanipelekanga chagamunaga kadogo. Kitu ya kwanza tuko Kenya na dialogue. Kama dialogue itakuwa, hatutaki mwanasiasa yeyote aongoze dialogue. Why am I talking like this? Dialogue is for the youth of this country. We are trying to shape kizungu. Tunajaribu kunyorosha hii nchi venye inafaa. In fact, you have a future. Uko na watoto, uko na wengine wanakuja. Kama itakuwa dialogue ni ya wanasiasa, 207 ilikuwa dialogue. Wenye walikufiwa na wakufi hawakukompensetiwa. Ikakuja na hiyo generation ni dialogue ya wanasiasa. Raundi vijana tumeamua, na hii ni uwito kwa vijana wote Kenya nzima, tushikane mkono, tuende pamoja. When the cause is gine, when our cause is just, thank you Jesus. Ya mwisho nikimalizia, hatutaogopa. Tuko na njia mbili. Njia ya kwanza ni dialogue, na hiyo dialogue ni sisi tunakaa kwa hiyo dialogue, sio wanasiasa, sio makanisa, sio kina nani. Vijana tunakaa kwa hiyo dialogue sababu hao watu wamemaliza muda wao, ni wakati wetu vijana. Ya pili, ikisindikana dialogue ya ginene ya dialogue ikisindikana dialogue, barabara, maandamano. Thank you very much.
Yes, please. My name is Genz from Daily Nation.
Yes.
The first speaker and the last speaker spoken passionately that the dialogue that we have needed to create politicians. In fact, the ODM leader Raila Ruto also in the generational conflict how dialogue from the grassroots to the national level. How do you blend with the call by Raila Ruto?
Thank you so much. You're from Daily Nation, right? You're from Daily Nation, right? Thank you. As the dialogue is called, it's called intergenerational dialogue. To me, it's a dialogue between the generations. It's not in now. It's a dialogue between the generations. So what we are saying is, because largely here we are Gen Zs and millennials. So as a generation of Gen Zs and millennials, we will sit down as Gen Zs and millennials, identify our issues, identify our possible solutions to those issues as a generation. Raila or the political class as their own generation also will sit on their own accord, identify their own problems on their own accord. And then now from there is when they're talking about that conclave. So we can consider as a conclave of Gen Zs and millennials to discuss our own problems first, not politicians coming to discuss our problems for us. So basically that's what we are saying. We are in the same wavelength, just that now we are saying we want to do it differently. It's not a politician-led dialogue from within our generation.
So at what point will you require raise of the leadership of the country to come in? Because if you have a problem, you must be taking the solution.
Absolutely.
I'm only talking about the raise of the national government.
Absolutely. Thank you. As you are aware, by definition, the word referendum just means engaging the people directly, not through the elected representatives. And the Supreme Court of Kenya, during the BBI decision, was very clear that if you want to have a referendum, if you want to engage the people, there's a 4-tier process in which you go about it. There is the public participation, which takes the civic engagement. It will have to go to the public barazas. It will have to go to civic education before now we go into a referendum. So we just say at the grassroots level, the first 3-tier processes, we will do it on our own accord. Then now when we reach to a point whereby now we want to have a fusion of the ideas across the generations, is when now we will engage with the decision makers who are politicians for that matter. Thank you.
So how soon do you want this process to start?
We have already started actually, and as VAR we started in March. We started in March setting up this association of thought leaders. Having the fourth estate here today is part of the starting. So maybe after here now we will be issuing a call to action, which basically will outline the next steps that we will be taking towards the creation of the viable alternative republic. When our cause is just,
Conquer we must.
when our cause is just,
Conquer we must.
allow me to introduce the next person to speak, unless the fourth estate have another question. Are you satisfied, sir? Thank you.
When our cause is just,
Conquer we must.
when our cause is just,
Conquer we must.
part of our ideas as the VAR is to care for each other. So we are here. I'm Kimberly Grace from the University of Nairobi, and I'm here to agitate for our grievances. As university students, we face high accommodation fee, which makes our women students or our youths to go and stay outside school. This makes them predators or prey towards the femicide, and also their security is at risk. And another issue we face is the mental health. In the universities, most of the lecturers are not paid. They go for strike, and as it is well said, let Caesar be given what it belongs to him. May the lecturers be paid in time so that students can get their marks and graduate earlier enough. And also among the problems we face is delays of help. May the in-charge body disburse help in time so that students can get their help in time and sustain their stay in school. And also another problem students face, they are unable to acquire basic needs such as food and shelter, which makes them very uncomfortable during their studies. When our cause is just,
conquer we must.
Thank you.
Fellow Kenyans, particularly the youth, my name is Kibet Jared Kosgei. I am a lawyer and a communications coordinator in Team VR 3738. Today, as Team VR 3738, we are welcoming the move of intergenerational conclave by a statesman, Raila Amolo Odinga. This intergenerational conclave is geared towards ensuring that the youth are at the center of governance and socio-economic discourse in this country. I'm asking the youth, are we to plunge this country into anarchy by endless protests without a definite conclusion, or are we to exercise our patriotic gear and participate in a dialogue which, in the aftermath of June 25th, 2024 protest, was called by President William Ruto that we should engage in dialogue? I remember at that time, we had no platforms as the youth of this country. We had no platforms to represent us in that dialogue with the president. But right now, VR 3738 is a platform, a youth-led media platform, which is ready to engage with the rest of the Kenyans in the intergenerational conclave. One thing I'm asking the youth, a very big question: what is our alternative plan to shake the status quo of governance in Kenya? The next thing, which has been reinforced by my previous speakers, is that this process should be guided by the youth, because we are civic conscious. We are much civic conscious as a country. I remember when the late senior counsel Firoz Noraji was asked why he represented Kenya during the operation in times of President the late Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, and he was saying history is for the record, that we are here for the record. As VR, we are here for the record, that history will judge us one day fairly. We don't want to be like Martin Niemöller, who in 1945, after being released 8 years, he said, had I spoken, then a country could not have plunged into anarchy. He said, I was not a socialist, I did not speak. Because I was not a trade unionist, I did not speak. But because of my complicitness in the face of oppression, this is where the country went to. Kenyans, fellow youth, I'm asking you, let's engage in this dialogue. And finally, I'm asking us also that we should not be hijacked, our movement should not be hijacked by politicians with selfish interest. May God bless Kenya. May God bless all of us. Thank you so much for your attention.
Fellow Kenyans, fellow young Kenyans, I'm Ron Murage, thought leader at the VR 3738, the voice of a generation, and this is our call to action. We call upon, one, friends of VR, those who stood with us when we had only an idea and fire in our bones, come see what you helped spark. Two, the unity of minds, all citizens of thought, reflection, and courage. The doors of dialogue are open. Bring your questions, bring your truths. Three, dialogue as a weapon, not as an excuse. We embrace dialogue not as an end, but a means to an end. And that end is to create a viable alternative republic from the perspective of the common mwananchi. 4, responsibility, not blame. We commit to take as the task of the generation, not to ask what the government has done for us, but what we can do for our nation or our continent. 5, a plea to the government. Provide an enabling environment for affordable living, safety, and the rule of law as a right, not as a privilege. We are not asking for favors, we are demanding for fairness. 6, a challenge to every Gen Z and millennial. If you believe in a better Kenya, if you love peace, if you believe in the power of the youth, join us. Dialogue is not dead. It is reborn in your voice. Lastly, the 7th one, an invitation to all Africans of goodwill. Let's predict the future by not waiting, but by creating it with words, with unity, with purpose. Today, we launch. Today, we claim the mic. Today, the future of Africa speaks. And welcome to the viable alternative republic. Let them hear us. We are back and in numbers. Take it as it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, members of the fourth step. Thank you so much, the thought leaders at VAR. That brings us to our conclusion. And maybe our parting shot is, when our cause is just,
Conquer we must.
when our cause is just,
Conquer we must.
this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and government of Kenyans for Kenyans by Kenyans shall not perish from the face of Africa. Thank you so much.